Hello and welcome to part 2. Now after a couple of minutes, Photomerge will have done its magic and it'll have loaded all of those pictures into Photoshop, and they'll appear in one file and each of the images will be set into a new layer. As well as that, each layer will now have a layer mask, so there's none of the usual trickery that you have to do within Elements to create a layer mask using adjustments layers, and each of those layer masks will be attached directly to each of the layers themselves. So the first thing we need to do is prepare those layers. So if you click on the top layer, go Control A, make sure you're clicked into the layer mask itself and just hit delete. And what we're aiming to do is just to click down each of these layers and just remove any of the work that Photoshop's done with the masking. So just repeat that for all 10 of those layers till we're down to the final layer. And now what we want to do is just switch off all of the layers bar the very top layer. Now what we can see here is we can see the person moving in the foreground. If we click back onto the layer mask and select the brush tool, we want to increase the brush tool size and make sure that we've got an opacity initially of about 100%. Now using that black brush, when we start to paint onto the screen, we can actually see that removing the image, and what we're going to do is just to repeat basically this process for each of the images and just remove any of the areas that doesn't have an area of movement. So there we go, we've got our first layer done, and by using quite a soft brush we're just getting a smooth transition between each of the layers. So once we've finished that one, switch the next layer on, just click to make sure it's selected, and again click into the mask layer and then use your black brush just to go around any of the areas of movement, and again just change the brush size if you've got several areas. So we've got this man in yellow, just reduce the brush size a little bit so we can get him in, and then we can just increase the brush size again. And we're just wanting to cut each of these out quite roughly so that we can build up all of the movement within the image. So again, switch that layer off, next layer on, click onto the layer, click onto the layer mask, and then just use the black brush just to very quickly remove all of those other areas. Okay, now this takes quite a few minutes, so what I'll do is see you in the next part where we'll start adjusting the opacity of each of the layers so that we can build up our final picture.